I am here with Philip Calvo, who is the owner of Eagle Industries. We're here to talk a little bit about how Phil got going in the industry and some of his observations about it. Well, so Phil, early in your career, you already started to see the change that was taking place in the industry with the lead paint regulations that were coming down the road. It took a while for the worker protection and for the hazardous waste rules to really come into place, but you were already ahead of that with the containment. How else have you seen the industry change since those were really the early days of lead paint removal and containment?
Oh, the industry has changed tremendous in the last 25 years. It has gone from basically using silica sand in small blast pots or large, what they call canned sand blast pots, and compressed air. That's really what a contractor used at that time. In a very short period of time, it incorporated items of containment to keep the dust down and restrict debris from escaping the job site, to ventilating that workspace, to hygiene or shower trailers, to full-blown steel grit equipment. You know, back then, you know, to be a sandblaster and painter, unfortunately, it was a true comment to say that you could probably rent everything at a supply store and carry it in a pickup truck, and you know, product can be delivered to your job site, and it took very little investment. You know, today's painters, it's not uncommon to spend $500,000 on a piece of steel grit removal equipment, and it takes an engineer to figure out how to operate it. The simplicity of the equipment has changed drastically, but it's all changed for the right reasons. I mean, the production's there, the equipment's there, the reusability of the media, the reduction in disposal costs, and all these things are geared, you know, for that. But that's probably the biggest single change that I've seen is equipment and technology.
Well, in the many years that I've known you, you have been able to meet the challenges. You seem to thrive on challenge. What do you find most rewarding in your work?
I can say with a great level of honesty, what's the most rewarding thing about my job and my work is I've been able to do it for 25 years with really a group of people that I've grown up with. Not everybody can say that in business, but, you know, my goodness gracious, I mean, the guys I went to school with, to college with, to play rugby with, most of them are still with us. You know, we've grown up together. It's testy quite a bit when you spend that much time with people, but what fun we've had and been able to travel around and sell our products and make a living at it. It's been a lot of fun. I do know it's also one of the biggest challenges. Most of them are all stakeholders, and you know, as we've aged, we're all now in our 50s and mid-50s, most of us. It's a lot harder to motivate one another to do things. But the challenges are every day is different in this business. If you don't like what happened today, absolutely tomorrow will be a totally different day. No question about it. Some other challenge will come about, some other issue will come about, some other demand will come about. So there's no 2 days that have been alike, and doing it with people you enjoy has been a lot of fun.
You seem to know just about everything there is to know about containment, about the business, about the equipment, about the processes. Can you talk about who was most influential in your coming into your own as a businessman, or what the best advice you ever received was?
I've had a number of people look over my shoulder and give me some direction. You know, growing up, in part, a little bit of my experience was with Schmidt Manufacturing, and I got to work with a guy by the name of Marshall Seavey. Marshall and I went into business, as one of our businesses that we had early on was ECS. We shared ownership in that company, and you know, Marshall was truly a mentor of mine. You know, I was focused on Eagle equipment and abrasive, which was fairly localized. And if you remember a guy by the name of Ray Williams with U.S. Technology and Inventive Machine, you know, he told me something that was, the United States, it's just a big backyard, Phil. Just go out in it. Go have fun. And I think, those two just literally pointed me in the right direction. And the rest of it has been absolutely a lot of fun, just chasing it.
Well, so what do you think is going to happen with the next generation?
All business people have to look at, an aging, an aging group of employees, an aging owner, is how do you go forward and what do you do? Is there a life after myself? Do I sell the company? Those sort of opportunities you always look at. Well, good fortune, I've got some of my family wanting to come in, and so succession planning's come about. I've got my oldest son is with me, Patrick, and watching his eyes, at 25 is totally interesting. The technology that these kids have today leaps forward. I mean, I'm a dinosaur when I sit at a table with him. The things they do with technology and computers, I don't understand them. They're beyond me. I mean, beyond anybody in my office, because most of the guys went to school with me or equal in smarts and computer savviness. But these kids today are phenomenal. The technology is communication is just very, very rapid. And I do think sales and equipment and the use of our products and services are still going to be done the old-fashioned way, in part. It's still going to take relationship, going out to a job, looking at it, bidding it. But the access and sourcing it and finding it and researching it is going to be done with tools I can't even imagine, tomorrow.